levels of this acquirement. Five, Hassan. So the highest is yes, yaqeen. But if you would like to count them as five, then you would include an ilm. Okay? وهو إدراك الشيء على ما هو عليه إدراك جازم, right? Like what we defined it. But if you like to divide them,
if you say, okay, those are all part of ilm. So these are the levels of al-ilm, then you would divide them into four, right? So then, what is the highest one? Which is yaqeen, certainty, to have a certitude. So what do you mean by certainty? Yeah. Yes, meaning that you realize things as they are. Okay, as they are. But you have this realization. You know that for surety that you have realized what is going on. Okay, and this is certainty. Then, if you don't have certainty, what do you have? And this is actually the majority of the issues of al-fiqh. No. Like Ibn Mundhir rahimahullah, when he collected things that are agreed upon, he only collected one volume. Ibn Mundhir rahimahullah. And not even all of them are agreed upon. Not all of them are by consensus or unanimously agreed upon. Yeah, sometimes he relates ijma'at, okay, consensuses, that when we traced them, we found that we have some differences now. Okay, yes, sometimes that they are obsolete, sometimes they are abandoned, but we had disagreement. But only one volume regarding Usool Al-Fiqh. So then, if we don't have certainty, where do we resort to? Yeah, exactly, al-dhann. What is al-dhann? Exactly. Okay, that you have two things, two options, that you're more inclined to one than the other. Okay, this is al-dhann. Then al-dhann is from 51% up to 99.999. Okay, so it is probabilistic from this perspective. Okay, but it's highly probable, very highly probable, and this is acceptable in statistics. And in order for a thing to be not probable in statistics, if it is 10 to the power 50, then it's just 0. It's not 50. Okay, that's why the existence, for example, of the universe by chance, by coincidence, when it was calculated by Moran Purinson, he found it to be 10 to the power of 123 possible chance of it to be accidental. This is not even considered, okay? This is, not even the number of atoms in this universe. It's impossible. It means it's impossible, okay? But this is the probability that we are seeking. The probability that we are seeking is that it is highly probable for this ruling to be. Okay, so this evidence would lead us to the conclusion of high probability. Okay? So this is then al-dhann. What is the opposite of al-dhann? Al-wahm. Hasan. So, and what is al-wahm? The other side. The other side. The neglected one. Ahsant. Barakallah feek. And then we are left with a shak. What is a shak, terminologically speaking? Exactly, 50-50. You have two options, you are not inclined to one over the other. Now, if I ask you, you're saying that al-dhann is ilm. Allah Jalla wa Ala يقول وإن الظن لا يغني من الحق شيئا. يقول الله ذلك مبلغهم من العلم. Ahsan. So the one that is condemned here in these verses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala condemned it in Al-An'am, in Al-Najm. What he is talking about subhanahu wa ta'ala is the dhann al-marjuh, يسميه العلماء. The one, meaning al-wahm, that is based on desire and not on a proof. This is a dhann that is condemned. But a dhann that is based on the probability utilized by evidence, there's actually the majority of your ilm are dhanni. Regarding Usool Al-Fiqh, regarding Al-Fiqh, are dhanni. Okay? As opposed to the creedal issues, which are the majority of them are categorical, conclusive. قطعي. Okay? قطعي. يعني قطعية الثبوت وقطعية الدلالة. Okay? Because, inshallah, we're going to discuss this. Anyway, so this is then the evidence that we are going after. Then he talked about Usool Al-Fiqh. Okay? Now, he defined Usool Al-Fiqh. And we defined Usool Al-Fiqh at the beginning. Now he called it Turuq. Why did he call Usool Al-Fiqh here At-Turuq, brother? Because we defined Usool Al-Fiqh as the study of evidences, meaning that if you'd like to translate it into English, you can call it evidenciology. Okay? Ology, the study of evidence. Okay? Jurisprudential evidenciology, if you'd like to coin this term, meaning that you study the evidences. But he called them here at-turuq. We are asking you, why did he call them turuq? Why he didn't call them evidences?
There are many different ways of getting the evidence.
It's because, alhamdulillah, he was affected or influenced by
By the Ash'ari consideration, yes. They say that only the certainty considered to be evidence. Things that would lead you to al-dhann are amarat, signs. Signs, they are not evidences, they are signs. And hence he called them turuq. But we disagree. We say that al-dhann and certainty, if the evidence leads you to certainty or dhann, then this is ilm. This is ilm. And hence both are evidences. Yeah, but what he intended here, rahimahullah, is to point out to you that not every because not every evidence would lead you to certainty, then things that would lead to dhann are ways, signs. These are like a corner, milestones. Okay, but they are not evidences from his perspective. Although that he, rahimahullah, at the end of his life, rahimahullah, returned to this, because this is one of the reasons, for example, that they don't accept hadith al-ahad. Okay, it has to be frequent narrations. Other than this, reason will reign supreme over revelation, according to what they are doing. So we disagree. He said that then he mentioned two things of the functions of Usool Al-Fiqh, and we added third, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember properly. Okay, so then what are they? He mentioned here two, and we added one. Three functions of Usool Al-Fiqh. And Doctor, did you attend the Doctor? Or? Okay. Yes, so Usool Al-Fiqh discusses the general evidences, not the specificities. Okay, like what? What are the general evidences that we are tackling? Al-amr yadullu al-wujub. Yes, maybe we're going to use specific evidences to exemplify the general evidence. But in generality, we are discussing the general evidences. Al-amr yadullu al-wujub. So how Now, how do you use specific evidence to prove this general evidence?
So,
Okay, which is called what? If you use specificities, yes, but no, but I mean, what way of thinking now you are using? Yeah, but now you are using the rational faculty in order to do what? To induce. This is induction. You use specific examples in order to have a general qaida, general dalil, which is for Usool Al-Fiqh. Then you return again to use this general dalil to apply it for endless specific situations. So al-amr lil-wujub, do you have any evidence for this?
yeah, so
How do we know that al-amr is for al-wujub?
okay, so then we would say in the Quran, whenever it says, for example, Allah aqimu salah, that is a command. So any command that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or Prophet
Alayhi
sallam
salam.
will become wajib upon us.
But how do we know that a command means al-wujub? Why is it not true that it means al-istihbab, preferability, not obligation? Yeah. If you say to your child, please bring me a cup of water, but he didn't go. Then you ask him, why didn't go? He said, al-amr lil-istihbab. The commandment is for preferability, not for obligation. Do you accept this? Why?
The Prophet sallam elaborated.
Yes, because the Prophet ﷺ, whenever he commanded his companions and they didn't do, they are blamed. Radiallahu anhu. So then it showed us that a commandment is for obligation, unless otherwise excluded. Okay? So then this is general evidences. This is a general evidence that we study في علم أصول الفقه. Okay? We use some specificities in order to exemplify. What else that we have a general evidence? النهي يدل على التحريم. Okay? Hmm?
The actions of Prophet sallam would show that is mubah.
The actions of the Prophet so we have a mabhath, okay, a topic that is discussed. أفعال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. Now, أفعال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, generally speaking, that they are of 6 types. Okay? One of these types is that if he صلى الله عليه وسلم does a thing that is explaining a commandment, then the ruling of this fi'l of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is related to the command. Okay, so if this command, like the fi'l of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he prayed, the way that he prayed alayhi salatu wasalam, we have to pray like the way that he prayed. Why? Because the obligation of the prayer is what? Wajib. That's why he sallu kama ra'aytum. This is our specific evidence to prove this general qaida. Okay, general evidence. Okay, khudhu anni manasikakum. Okay, take from me your rituals. Because al-hajj is an obligation, and the implementation of it, which was fi'l al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ahsan. So this is then the general evidences that we are going after. في أصول الفقه. And also في علم أصول الفقه, do you stop by knowing the general evidences? Like you know that اللفظ العام ينزل منزلة يحمل على عمومه والمطلق يحمل على إطلاقه. Okay? The general evidence will continue to be general until it's specified. And al-mutlaq, the not restricted evidence, will continue to be not restricted until it is restricted. So, but it will continue in the way that it is. You know, al-wasa'il laha ahkam al-maqasid. You can also talk about from the the general evidences, ما لا الدليل إذا تطرق إليه الاحتمال بطل به الاستدلال. That if an evidence it has many possibility, you can utilize it for specific situation. You have to provide an external preponderancy to one over the other, but you can utilize it. Okay? You can. This is a general evidence. If someone argues with you, you can provide this. تأخير البيان عن وقت الحاجة ينزل منزلة العموم في المقال. Okay, if there is an urgent and immediate need from صاحب الشرع, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to state, but he didn't state, meaning to give a ruling for this immediate situation, for this urgent immediate situation, and he didn't, so it means the general application of this situation. And inshallah we're going to discuss this. All of these are what? General evidences. These are general evidences. Now if you have al-ijma', okay, the ulama rahimahullah agreed upon 6 types of wealths or properties to be usurious. This is a consensus. Then they differed regarding the causal effect, why they are usurious. Okay, and so on and so on. Al-illah, what is al-illah? Okay, every illah, okay, al-shara', all of the shara' is justified, causally justified. But some of it is known, some of it is not known. And even the known, either to be derived or to be stated in the text. Okay? These are general things that you discuss fi ilm usul al-fiqh. Okay? And this is what we are talking about. Now, the second function of ilm usul al-fiqh is what? Yes, how to use the evidence. Now you know the evidence, you know these general evidences, but how to use them? Ilm usul al-fiqh teaches us this. Okay, how to use the evidence. So it's not Al-Khawarij, for example, they have the evidence. They were arguing with an evidence. But in order for you to evaluate the evidence, okay, to use the evidence and to evaluate the evidence, you study ilm usul al-fiqh. This is the major thing that usul al-fiqh is enabling you to do. That's why how to use the evidences by benefiting from 2 things. You know al-alfaz, okay, alfaz al-adillah. You know the meaning, how the evidence is communicated, and also the shurut al-istidlal, the conditions for you to utilize the evidence. So now you know al-alfaz, that the general statement will continue to be general until it's stated otherwise, right? But how, if you have a specific evidence and you have a general evidence, what is the conditionality of this general evidence to be specified by the specific? Okay, this is the study of ilm usul al-fiqh, كيفية الاستدلال, how to utilize the evidence. So then, how to utilize the evidence? It includes 2 things. What are they, brother? معرفة الألفاظ. You know al-alfaz. Okay, ألفاظ الأدلة. ألفاظ الأدلة. That's why the ulama rahimahullah discuss al-kalam. Why do we discuss speech, kalam, في علم usul al-fiqh? Because the book of Allah and the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam are communicated to us through what? Through kalam. So then you have to know al-alfaz, معرفة الألفاظ. العام, الخاص, المطلق, المقيد, المحكم, المتشابه, الظاهر, المؤول, الصريح, وهكذا. You have to know al-lafz. What do you mean by al-lafz? Not only that, and also shurut al-istidlal, the conditions of you utilizing these evidences. these general evidences. So this is the meaning of how to utilize the evidence. اللفظ وشرط الاستدلال. And this is crucial. This is crucial. This is actually يقول السبكي رحمه الله في جمع الجوامع, in his book جمع الجوامع, he says that this is actually the major difference between a faqih and متفقه. Why you have Usool Al-Fiqh? أحسنت. Okay? This is, if you master this, you're going to be able to distinguish al-alim from non-alim. This is the tool. This is the instrument now you're given. Imagine that I say to you that you will graduate from this school mastering this. You'll be able to distinguish between alim and non-alim. Are you going to pay the tuitions, even if they are expensive? Yeah, if you are really careful about your deen. Okay, that's the meaning of ilm usul al-fiqh. It's crucial that you know كيفية الاستدلال, how to utilize the evidence. And thirdly, the function of ilm usul al-fiqh is what? حال المستدل. أحسنت. حال المستدل. Who is utilizing the evidence? وهو المجتهد. Who? Now, then you study the general evidences, how they are utilized, and by whom. Whom is the one eligible, capable of utilizing these evidences in order to go and derive rulings from the Book of Allah and from the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay? Then قال ومعنى قولنا كيفية الاستدلال بها ترتيب الأدلة في الترتيب والتقديم والتأخير وما يتبع ذلك من أحكام المجتهدين. Yes. Yeah, and he will discuss, okay, how to reconcile. If we have ta'arud, if we have a contradiction, how to reconcile. This is also من شروط الاستدلال. Likewise, كيفية الاستدلال would include two things. معرفة الألفاظ وشروط الاستدلال. And it's this is by consensus among all علماء أصول الفقه. That كيفية الاستدلال, it includes two things. معرفة الألفاظ ومعرفة شروط الاستدلال. Okay? So then كيفية الاستدلال بها. You know, if you have, when do you use a nasakh, abrogation? Okay? When do you use abrogation? Like now, what is the reason that some of the ulama say that سهم المؤلفة قلوبهم is abrogated? You as a researcher, as a scholar, you have to have the ability to distinguish between what is abrogated and what is not, and why it is abrogated. شروط الاستدلال. Okay? So a nasakh, look, it has two conditions. For example, since we have mentioned nasakh, it has two conditions. First, you have to be not able to reconcile the two evidences. And secondly, you have to know a tarikh, the chronology. You have to know which was revealed before and which was revealed later, so that you will be able to decide on the abrogation. If you don't have one of these, meaning that if you can reconcile, you don't resort to nasakh. If you don't know a tarikh, you don't resort to nasakh. You have to reconcile. You have to reconcile. You see, these are two conditions. How do we know them? Through ilm usul al-fiqh. So, al-mustadil, the one who utilizes these, you're going to be able to know him because of usul al-fiqh. That's why I say to you that if you sit with a person and you saw him, you know, there are three questions. You can raise these questions and you see how he tackles them, how he or she tackles them. Immediately you're going to be able to know. Al-alim, he will approach them the way that the ulama approach it. Okay? The one who is mutafaqqih, a researcher, مثقف, يتفلسف. Okay? He will go here and you say, okay. You know that he is not. Why? Because of this. So this ilm is very crucial in enabling you to distinguish between alim. Alim is not about big beard, okay? Alim is not about beautiful recitation. Al-ilm, ilm. Ilm, ilm. Okay? That's why the ulama used to respect, used to sanctify the ilm and to surround it very, very strongly to protect its janabul ilm, by preventing anyone to enter without being qualified, without being eligible. Even if he memorizes a lot of a hadith, he memorizes the Quran. And definitely you can't be a alim without memorizing the Quran. This is just shame, okay? But how do you know that he is alim? Not because he is a good khatib, not because he recites the Quran beautifully, not because he loves Islam so much and he tries to defend Islam so much. In order for him to be alim, is to utilize the tools that are utilized by whom? By the ulama, Usool Al-Fiqh. Okay? Then he said, Abwab Usool Al-Fiqh, meaning the topics, basically, the topics that are discussed in Usool Al-Fiqh. So let's see what they are. قال ومن أبواب أصول الفقه أقسام الكلام والأمر والنهي والعام والخاص والمجمل والمبين والظاهر والمؤول والأفعال والناسخ والمنسوخ والإجماع والأخبار والقياس والحظر والإباحة وترتيب الأدلة وصفة المفتي والمستفتي وأحكام المجتهدين. And these are, like what he said, some of its abwab, but these are the major ones. Okay? Now we're going to go over them. Okay? So, pardon? This is the, inshallah, we're gonna discuss this, inshallah. Okay, Ahsan. It's a good question. So he said some of the topics, and you can put it into brackets, some of the major topics of Usool Al-Fiqh. Then he numerated them. He listed them. How many are they? Count. Al-Kalam. Al-Amr. 20, are you sure? Al-Nahi. 21. This is an action. Okay, الكلام, الأمر, النهي, العام, الخاص, المجمل, المبين, الظاهر, المؤول, الأفعال, الناسخ, المنسوخ, الإجماع, الأخبار, القياس, الحظر, الإباحة, ترتيب الأدلة, صفة المفتي والمستفتي وأحكام المجتهدين. 20. Okay? 20 topics that inshallah we're going to discuss, so that you have to be masterful of these. Okay? Once you're masterful of these, like what we usually, before you go to study, if you go, in the way that we teach in Saudi Arabia, before we release you to study Usool Al-Fiqh, you have to take these. And before you go, a sheikh will write, eligible. So you can go. Because if you go to study Usool Al-Fiqh and you don't know how to reconcile things, how to compromise the evidence, how to do this and to neglect this and so on and so forth, you won't be able to justify why those ulama are saying this. Okay? That's why we have kawarith. You have some of the catastrophic conclusions by those who are affiliated to al-ilm, unfortunately. But the Prophet ﷺ said, يحمل هذا العلم من كل خلف عدوله ينفون عنه تحريف الغالين وتأويل الجاهلين وانتحال المبطلين. 3 things that they do. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that this ilm will be carried by each generation, or by specific people of each generation. What they will do, ينفون عنه تحريف الغالين, that they will clarify it from the deviation of the extremists on both sides, الغالي والجافي, وتأويل الجاهلين, and the interpretations of the ignorance. How? By Usool Al-Fiqh. And thirdly, تحريف الغالين وتأويل الجاهلين وانتحال المبطلين, and those who affiliate to al-ilm while they are not, or they are not ulama. So the ulama, those will tell you that this is not the case. So he said that ومن أبواب أصول الفقه أقسام الكلام. And inshallah we're going to discuss these. But regarding your question, what his question was is that why he didn't say the rulings of ijtihad, why he said أحكام المجتهدين. And the answer to this is that because he discussed it in Sifatul Mufti wal Mustafti, he needed to point out to you the rulings of the one who is capable of being Mufti. And since it is not possible for you to know the rulings of al-Mujtahid in order for him to be Mufti, because it is not possible till you know what ijtihad means, he just implied it. He said that I will talk about al-Mujtahideen, and you know that I will be talking about al-Ijtihad. Okay? But he will talk about al-Ijtihad, definitely. Okay, so this is then the reason that he said أحكام المجتهدين and he didn't say أحكام al-Ijtihad. Okay. Then now he get it started. Okay, to talk about what? The topics that are discussed في علم أصول الفقه. Now he said أقسام الكلام. He start with what? With a speech. Speech. Why did he start with a speech? Because the book of Allah and the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ are communicated to us through what? Through speech. And what do you mean by speech here? You should know that in any language, that when we talk about language is a verbal code, either to be written or verbalized. Okay? It's a verbal code. It's a system. That's why, the majority of linguists, they say that language is the system of the systems when they want to define it. So it's a verbal code, brother. Very simple. That's why it is in any language that is composed of 5 composites, components. What are they? I think we talked about this, right? Seems to me that. Ahsant, yes, because it seems to me, because I remember you were here when we were discussing. So then, what are they, brother? Any language. There is no language on this planet we know of, but it composes of 5 things. Mm-hmm. Once you know these, this is what we are actually talking about. Okay, in the grammar. What do you mean by al-kalam to the Arabic grammarians? Okay, so then you have phonology. What we're talking about? Sounds, phonetics. Okay, when you say zay, za, this is a sawt, a sound of what? Za. It means something in the Arabic language. If you say K, it's a sound in the English language, then in order for these sounds to give us a meaning, we call them morphemes. في اللغة العربية هذا يا أخوة يسمى علم فقه اللغة. Okay, the study of فقه اللغة. فقه اللغة. Okay, so this is called morphemes. In English, it is called morphemes. Morphemes or morphology, meaning that you have the smallest unit of meaning. So if I say to you, days, days, is this a word? It's not. It's not. In the Arabic language, it's not. Okay? It's not a word. And hence, is this speech? It's not a speech. Because it does not convey a meaning. It does not have a meaning. Although, if you just change the order of these voices, of these sounds, you're going to have a word, which is Zayd. Very typical example in any topic. If you study al-Nahu, this is what you're going to face. If you study al-Usool, this is what you're going to face. If you study al-Balagha, rhetoric, this is what you're going to face. Very basic. So then, the speech is the collection of sounds that gives what? Gives a meaning. Okay? ولهذا يقول أهل العلم رحمه الله هو اللفظ المفيد الموضوع لمعنى. That it is the utterance, pronunciation, that is structured to convey a meaning. Now, this is the terminological definition of it. Okay, but we're talking about the substance of it. What is it? What is it? Speech. So if you say Zayd, this is a speech. But if you say days, it's not a speech. And this is called morphology. Then you move on. After you have morphology, you have what? Semantics, yes. Semantics meaning the grammar, the structure. Now we're talking about the specific meaning that we are going after now. Okay, meaning the definition of al-kalam terminologically. Through the semantics. What do you mean by the semantics? Syntax, I mean. Syntax stuff. Okay, syntax. Meaning the grammar. Okay? How they are structured. How they, like if you say in the Arabic language, can you say in the Arabic language? Can you say in the Arabic language, زيد محمد حضر. Okay? زيد محمد حضر. No, you can't. Why? Because it's ungrammatically correct. Okay? It is not the way that this language is structured. You can't order it this way. Like if you say, he beautiful. Listen, is in the English language. You have to have the auxiliary verb. You have to have it, which is. Okay, فعل التكوين يسمى. Okay? So if you say he beautiful, this is not acceptable. Okay? If you say he have a car, does this acceptable? No. He has. Okay, you have to do it the way that it is spoken in order for it to be speech. Okay? So this is called syntactics. Okay? And this is the meaning of kalam. This is the speech that we are saying. ولهذا يقول ابن مالك رحمه الله كلامنا لفظ مفيد كاستقم واسم وفعل ثم حرف الكلم. يقول الأجرومي رحمه الله يقول اللفظ الكلام هو اللفظ المفيد المركب المفيد بالوضع. He says that الكلام is a lafz that conveys a meaning, which is composed. بالوضع. بالوضع meaning according to the grammar. Okay? Clear? Now, for every morphemes to be understood, then you go to what? To a dictionary. Okay? To seek the meaning, the lexicological meaning, which is the semantics. Meaning the study of meaning of these words. Then, what are the consequences that we're going to study في علم أصول الفقه? The consequences of the structure, the composition of the grammar, which is the pragmatics, the effect of this speech or of any language on the behavior and perception of the recipient. If you utilize the Arabic language, your perception will change about many things, and hence even your behavior. Do you know that? Do you believe in this? Just if you change the verbal code that you're using, your perceptions about the world will change. Isn't it amazing? Subhanallah. Allah Jalla يقول من آياته ومن آياته خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف ألسنتكم وألوانكم. One of the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creations of the heavens and earth and the differences in our tongues. آية من آيات الله. So, do you know that anthropologists, when they study اللغة, they are just amazed. Your perception of time, space will change because of the language that you use. That's why if you can speak more than 3 languages, you have broad perceptions about the world. Just by speaking more than 2 languages. If you speak more than 2 languages, Subhanallah al-Azim. Okay? And you know, I am fascinated, Subhanallah, by the study of linguistics. Allah al-Azim ya ikhwa ayah. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says there is ayah. وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ خَلْقُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافُ أَلْسِنَتِكُمْ وَأَلْوَانِكُم. Your perception of the world will change because of the language. And I would really ask you to contemplate over this issue, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose from all the languages of the world for His final message to be in this particular language. So it is a declaration of the universality of this language. It's universal because it is chosen by Allah for a universal message, right? Why is it chosen? This is one of the reasons for the newcomers of Islam to be so eager to learn Arabic. Why is it that? Why is it chosen from all the languages? That this language is the language of the final message that all humanity are required to believe in. Why?
I think it's the most restricted language.
So you can do your research and you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed to know that. So then this is al-kalam. Then what is al-kalam? هو اللفظ المركب المفيد بالوضع. أحسنت. This is al-kalam. Okay? Al-lafz. Al-lafz meaning the utterance or the pronunciation. This is kalam. Then we say هو اللفظ المركب, meaning that is composed. But not in any composition, but it has to have fa'idah. Even if this fa'idah is redundant, by the way. If someone says كأننا والماء من حولنا قوم جلوس حولهم ماء, there is no problem. This is called kalam, although that is just redundant. Okay? You know what I said? كأننا والماء من حولنا. The similitude of us, while the water is around us, it's like people sitting surrounding water. Okay, it's just redundant, but it's a speech. Okay, it's a speech. So it's not necessary for the speech to convey a meaning that this meaning is meaningful. It's not necessary, but it has to be composed properly for it to be speech. Okay? Well, yes.
That's terminology.
Yeah.
No,
إيه نعم tautology أحسنت. Okay, tautology أحسنت نعم. Redundancy, yes. Tautology. بارك الله فيك. Yes. It is tautology is a speech, but it's you know,
back and forth.
back and forth, circular speech. Okay, vicious. Okay, vicious speech. Okay, vicious meaning that it does not have any meaning, like if you are in a vicious circle. أحسنت. Okay, good. So this is then the speech. So هو اللفظ المفيد المركب المفيد. Okay, what do you mean by المفيد? It's not necessary that this فائدة is. Yeah, meaning that it conveys a meaning, just basically. Okay, it is not necessary to be the best speech ever. So, meaning that you have understood what this person is talking. Then after that you will maybe curse him or kiss his head. Okay. Okay. So we're not talking about the content. We're talking about the structure that is conveying the meaning. This is al-ifada. Okay. This is the benefit that we're talking about. Now the benefit meaning that it'll increase something, it'll decrease something. Okay. Clear, inshallah, right? If you don't understand or you have some complications, just raise your hand and. Yes. هو اللفظ المركب المفيد بالوضع. Okay. What do you mean also by الوضع? That is composed based on rules. المفيد بالوضع. That's why they said الوضع هو الإعراب. تغيير أواخر الكلم لاختلاف العوامل الداخلة عليها لفظا أو تقديرا. Okay? So this is the meaning of الوضع. So this is why we gave you this very brief introduction in order to understand the language, the nature of any language, the communication of any language. And ulama Usool Al-Fiqh, when they indulge in this, they will talk a lot, and you don't need this now. Yeah, I mean, you will be bored, and you don't need this. But you should be familiar with this. What is the واللفظ in English? The composed, the pronunciation or the utterance into composition, conveying a meaning based on the syntactical structure. This is speech. Very detailed definition, but it's important. So again, what is speech? So if I say to you قم, okay, Muhammad, if I say to you قم, is this a speech? قم. Where is the composition? قم. Only one word. قم. Okay, so it's fi'l, but only because we said it has to be composed. Where is the composition? It's hidden. What it means? أحسنت أنت ضمير مستتر في قوة البارز. Okay, it's hidden but has the status of being exposed. Okay, that's why when you like to have إعراب, you say قم فعل أمر مبني على السكون مجزوم, always مجزوم. Okay, مبني على السكون. Where is الفاعل? Where is the subject? مستتر في قوة البارز تقديره أنت. Okay, so so then this is a composition, but based on what? The end of the definition, which is on the syntactical rule. And even it's in English. If I say to you, stand, this is an imperative verb, okay? No, you don't, yes, stand up, okay? Stand, is this English? Is this considered to be speech in English? Why? Yes, it is speech. That's why it is. I can say to you, stand up, right? And this is called imperative, okay? Imperative. Why? Because al-fa'il, the subject is hidden, but it's understood. I don't need to say to you, you stand. Oh, okay, or stand you. I don't need to add this pronoun, you. It is hidden, but it's understood. So it's syntactically valid. Okay? In some languages, like the Japanese, you can't speak it this way. The Syriac, the pronoun can't be hidden. The Syriac language. The Sadigert, which is part of the Indian languages. You have to pronounce the pronoun. You can't leave it in the imperative form. في أفعال الأمر. What about the Persian? Say to me, stand in Persian.
Barke is the same as Arabic. Then you don't have to tell the...
Exactly. Okay. So you don't have any pronoun. Okay. You see? So it is also the same. I would argue that this is yes, like what we have, that the majority of languages with the imperative form in a verb, although by the way that not all of the languages have a verb. SubhanAllah, you see? You can't even perceive it, you see? Your perception of the world will change. Some of the languages don't have verbs. They don't speak through verbs. SubhanAllah.
How do they discuss actions?
Okay. You have to go, like what I said, go and contemplate over this. You will be amazed. You will be amazed. It's ayah min ayatillah. Ayah. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enabled people to communicate without even having verbs. Well, you can't even imagine. In English, you can't speak without a verb. All the sentences in English are fi'liyah. You don't have jumal ismiyah. You in any language, any sentence you're going to utter, you have to have a verb. You can't avoid this if you'd like to speak English syntactically perfect. See? So this is then al-kalam. Okay? Then he discussed about, okay, we said that al-kalam is the composition. What is composed of? Again, what we're talking about the Arabic language. Okay? What is composed of? He said, فَأَقَلُّ مَا يَتَرَكَّبُ مِنْهُ الْكَلَامِ اسمان. That the least amount of composition, meaning in the Arabic language speech, is two nouns. As an English speaker, you know Abdullah Khan, Abdullah Chicago? He was once said to me, this is, again, I will allude again to this, this attests to what I'm saying, that your perception is going to change. Abdullah, he was saying to me, I mean, how do you speak, guys, without verbs? I just can't imagine this, he was saying to me. Yeah, why? Because he's an English speaker. I mean, how do you say, like, Muhammad here, without saying is? How do you say Muhammad here? You have to have is, because this is how you perceive it to be. So this is the pragmatics of the language. So in the Arabic language, you can have nouns. Okay, two nouns in order to compose a sentence. So you can say Allahu Rabbuna. Typical examples. Okay, in any book, this is the في اللغة الله أقوى الله ربنا محمد نبينا. Okay, in the English you can't say, if you'd like to translate it, you have to say Allah is our Lord. Okay, Muhammad is our messenger. In the Arabic language, you didn't need this verb, auxiliary verb. Allahu Rabbuna, Muhammadun Nabiyuna. التكوين in your ذهن. Okay, being, because being is in your mind. In English, the being is out of your mind. And this is why, philosophers are struggling with the problem of mind-body. If you're an Arabic speaker, this is going to facilitate for you the difference between your mind and body. Okay? But the point is that you can have a speech in the Arabic language that is only composed of a noun and a noun. Allahu Rabbuna Muhammadun Nabiyuna. What's your name? Mustafa Sadiquna. طيب. Muhammadun Habibuna. Okay? وهكذا. So then you're going to have two nouns. Then he said أو اسم وفعل. اسم, a noun, then a fi'l. And this is called, the first is called jumla. Which type of a jumla is this? The first, ismiyya. Because in the Arabic language, we have two types of sentences. You have the sentence that is called ismiyya and fi'liyya. Okay. Then also that they would differ regarding... Anyway, so this is the... Anybody here studied Nahu? Yeah, no, I'm not talking about... Okay, so you took the Ajrumiyya? Great. Okay. It paves the road for you. If you took the Ajrumiyya, memorize it, it will pave the road for you. Then you can move on to Mulhat al-I'rab, Bil-Hariri, then afterwards you go to Ibn Malik. Okay, Alfiyyat ibn Malik. قال محمد هو ابن مالكي حمدا لربي خير مالكي ثم الصلاة والسلام أبدا على النبي المصطفى محمد عليه الصلاة والسلام. So so this is then the first type of a sentence in the Arabic language. Then we have the second type, which is al-jumla al-fi'liyya. But now, when a sentence starts with a noun, it's immediately what? Ismiyya. Ismiyya. So, أو اسم وفعل. Like what? Okay, just give us an example of a noun and a verb. Okay, طيب.
فعل قام.
Yeah, say it.
قام, he stood.
لا, in the Arabic, in the Arabic language.
قام زيد.
لا, اسم وفعل.
No.
محمد جاء.
In one sentence.
أي نعم. محمد جاء. Or you can say جاء محمد. But look, the Arab will change. جاء محمد. جاء فعل ماضي مبني على الفتح. لا, وشلون مبني لا محل. If you say that is مبني, meaning that it has إعراب. لا محل له إعراب, meaning that it is not معرب. Okay? And we have 7 types of things that are not معرب. But the things to be so يعني if its end change because of the factors that are affecting it, then it is معرب. If it is not changing, meaning its end, like you can say رأيت هؤلاء وسلمت على هؤلاء وجاء هؤلاء. هؤلاء is اسم إشارة, اسم, but it's مبني. مبني لأنه يلزم حركة واحدة. It does not change. Its end does not change at all. سلمت على محمد. Now if you say سلمت على محمد, رأيت محمدا, جاء محمد. Why is this? Okay, why all of this confusion? محمد. Why? Because the different location of the word. Okay, so this is called the Arab. But now, if you say جاء محمد, now you have a verb and a noun. And you can have a noun and a verb, but the Arab will change. So جاء محمد جملة فعلية. جاء فعل ماضي مبني على الفتح. وعند الكوفيين يلزم الفتح مطلقا. Okay, مطلقا. Always. محمد is the subject, الفاعل. وعلامة رفعه الضم. فاعل مرفوع. Because الفاعل always is مرفوع. And what is the sign? What is يعني علامة? What is the sign of it being مرفوع? الضمة الظاهرة على آخره ليست مقدرة. Okay, علامة رفع الضمة الظاهرة على آخره. However, we say محمد جاء. Now Muhammad is what? مبتدأ. أحسنت. ما شاء الله, good. Muhammad is مبتدأ. مرفوع. Always. المبتدأ من المرفوعات. So you have الفاعل always مرفوع. المبتدأ is always مرفوع. مبتدأ مرفوع وعلامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة على آخره. And جاء فعل. First of all, you have to know what this word is. Okay? When I say to you, أعرف for me, you don't go to the محل before you have إعراب for the word itself. So, فعل ماض مبني على فتح جاء. If you don't know what it is مبني on, just pronounce it. And you're going to know. Like هؤلاء مبني على الكسر. Because you can pronounce it. Now, جاء, this is the خبر of the مبتدأ. But where is الفاعل of جاء? لا, محمد is مبتدأ. ضمير مستتر. ضمير مستتر جوازا تقديره هو جوازا. ثم نعود ونقول والفعل والفاعل في محل رفع خبر المبتدأ. Okay? Then جاء this جملة, because we have a second جملة جاء هو. Okay? Now this جملة from the verb and the subject, it takes the place of خبر for Muhammad. Okay? So الجملة now, the sentence is the خبر, the predicate, if you'd like to be more grammatical. This is the predicate. Okay? And also you can call it the complement. But the complement is when you have is. Okay? Anyway, so now you have اسم وفعل. جاء محمد جاء. In both cases, you have a sentence. But either to be اسمية or to be فعلية. So yes, yes, أحسنت. محمد جاء, أحسنت, اسمية. جاء محمد is the فعلية. Hidden. في قوة البارز يسمى. Then, because we have 5 pronouns, okay, in the Arabic language, okay, 5 pronouns for الفاعل, okay. 3 are hidden وجوبا, and 2 are hidden جوازا. Okay, and we don't want this class to be nahu, but you should understand the types of composition in the Arabic language. أو اسم وحرف. اسم and a letter. Okay? Ism and a letter. Can you have this in English? Okay. You can say لم يجئ. أو اسم وحرف. لا, اسم وحرف. لا, اسم وحرف. لا, أصبر. اسم وحرف. Yes, what they intend, لا, they intend the نداء, calling. Okay, when النحاة say اسم وحرف, meaning calling. If you say يا محمد, أحسن. لا, no, it is not necessary. Okay, he's saying that this is the composition. اسم وحرف. If you say يا محمد, يا محمد, يا خالد, يا Allah. So they consider this to be what? A sentence, كلام. Why and how do they Now, why do they call it ism wa harf, while in reality it is not, by the way? Yes, surah, the image of the speech, yes. But the meaning is not a noun and an article, okay? وأداة. لا, because ya, it's a replacement of a fi'l. It means أدعو, أنادي, okay? I أنادي Muhammad. So then this fi'l was replaced by ya. Ya, تسمى ياء النداء. Okay? It was replaced by ya. So the image of it is a letter and a noun. But in reality, the meaning is a verb and a noun. Okay? Because the taqdeer, you're saying ya Allah, meaning أدعو الله أو أنادي الله. Okay?
Okay, so اسم حرف يا محمد. What would be فعل الحرف?
فعل وحرف. فعل وحرف, if you say لم يأتي. Okay? هل أتاك؟ أحسنت. لم يأتي. لم يرضى. ما رضي. هل رضي. And so on and so forth. Okay? So this is حرف and فعل. A verb and a letter.
لم is the حرف.
لم is the حرف, نعم. لم, it has three meanings. أداة جزم ونفي وقلب. ولن أداة نفي ونصب واستقبال. واستقبال. Okay? So then, this, yeah, okay. So this is then the meaning of حرف وفعل. حرف وفعل. Then he said, والكلام ينقسم إلى أمر ونهي وخبر واستخبار. Also one of the aspects of speech that what it means, what it denotes, okay, what it conveys, it either to be amr, okay, what do you mean by amr? Command. وهو طلب الفعل, requiring to do. Like what? انتبه, انتبه, اكتب, ركز, okay, focus, pay attention, don't sleep, لا, not don't sleep, because this is called what? This is an example of what? Of النهي. وهو طلب الترك, the requirement of not to do. Okay? لا تنم, لا تغفل, لا تسهو. Okay? And we have many ways in the Arabic language for nahi, for requiring you not to do. But this is not the occasion where we should talk about. Then he talked about al-khabar. What is al-khabar? It's any sentence that can be described by accepting or rejecting. That's why we say the matlub al-khabari when we talked about the evidence. Okay? So if I say Allahu mawjoodun, this is khabar. Why? Because it can be, meaning this sentence is capable of being described, of being accepted or being rejected. Although those rejected will lose this life and the hereafter, and those accepted will be victorious in this life and the hereafter. But we're talking about the meaning, the use of the meaning. وخبر. ولهذا قال يقول العلماء رحمه الله كل ما كان صالحا لأن يكون موافقا للواقع أو مخالفا للواقع فهو جملة خبرية. Okay? فهو خبر. Then استخبار, meaning questioning. الخبر هو المسند هنا الخبر لكن الخبر that we're talking about here هو ما كان صالحا لأن يقبل أو أن ينفى. Okay? صحيح لأنه كذب أو أن يصدق. استخبار meaning question. Okay, and this question, okay, is not necessarily that you ask about something that you don't know, but yes, lexemologically, questioning meaning that you ask about things that you didn't know. But if I ask you a rhetorical question, is this istifham? Yes, yes, it is. Although the purpose of it, rhetorically, is not to know. Okay. That's why you have a lot of istifhamat in the Quran that are not intended to ask you, but to do what? To tell you that you are sure about what I'm talking about. Alam tara, and don't you know? Okay. Alam tara anna Allah ya'lamu ma fi as-samawati wa ma fi al-ard. Inna dhalika fi kitab.
الاستفهام والاستخبار same thing.
Yes, 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 they are the same. الاستخبار من طلب الخبر. Okay, meaning to question. Then he said وينقسم أيضا إلى تمن وعرض وقسم. Okay, and he said also in terms of its use, in terms of its signification, if it signifies or if it denotes, it also gives you the meaning of tamannin. Tamannin, that you hope. Okay, what is the difference between wish and hope?
Which is something that you cannot.
It's highly unlikely to have, to achieve, to acquire. While if you have hope, it's possible for you to achieve. في اللغة العربية التمني والترجي. So التمني, if you have تمنن, it's things that are impossible to achieve, or that its achievement is very, very unlikely. So it's either to be impossible or that it is very unlikely. So if someone says ليت الكافر يدخل الجنة. Okay? ليت الكافر يدخل الجنة. Is this possible? It's impossible to occur. Okay? Or that it's unlikely, very, very unlikely to occur.
But the money is wish or hope?
Hope. Tamanni is wishing. Okay, wishing. الرجاء أو الترجي is hope. That's why you use later for what? تمني. ليت. يا ليتنا. يا ليتني مت قبل هذا وكنت نسيا منسيا. Okay? Also يا حسرة. Okay? يا حسرة. One of also التمني. صيغ التمني. The ways, the forms of تمني. Okay? أما الرجاء, you use with it لعل. Okay? لعل. But if you say, well, on the day of judgment, a disbeliever will say, or a nafs of a disbeliever will say, رب ارجعون لعلي أعمل صالحا. How did he use لعل for something that is impossible? Because يقول العلماء رحمه الله, because he was shown the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so much so that he was eager to be returned again because of the mercy of Allah. But he wants, قال رب ارجعون لعلي أعمل صالحا فيما تركت كلا. So because of the mercy that it was shown from Allah, he had some hope that he would return. نسأل الله سبحانه ورحمته. Okay, so then وينقسم إلى تمن. Okay, وعرض. So this is التمني. قال وعرض. عرض, to ask, mildly. Okay, delicately. If I say to you, brother, would you please come to my home? Would you please have dinner together? It's called عرض. So I ask you, but delicately. Okay, politely. Now I ask. It's not just, I'm not requiring you. Okay?
What's
لا ask. Okay?
what's the Arabic definition?
هو الطلب برفق. هو الطلب برفق وعرض وقسم. What do you mean by قسم? Oath. To swear. Okay? Now, you can define these into two types. You can define speech into, in terms of its usability, in terms of its denotion, what it denotes, what it signifies, into two things. You can call a speech to be خبري or إنشائي. Okay? Speech in terms of its signification, in terms of its usability, you can call it to be خبري, meaning that it can that could be described by accepting or rejecting, affirming or negating. Okay? And this would include what of these? الأخبار, because we said خبري, right? خبر. Then the second type would include the rest, which is الإنشائي. الإنشاء meaning initiative, okay? Initiative speech. What do you mean by initiative speech? Meaning that it is, that its مضمون, its content can't be achieved or can't be known till it's pronounced. Okay? So if I say to you, would you please come? Can you say, no, this is right or wrong? But how do we know that it's right or wrong? Until he goes or not. So because its content is known after its utterance, we call it initiative. Okay? Initiative speech. And this would include, that's why the ulama even, they also, they had the typology of saying that you have initiative speech, إنشاء طلبي, and you have إنشاء غير طلبي, meaning that is not, I don't ask you. So the requiring initiative speech, or you can say require / initiative speech, is the speech that it asks, okay? It requires. So this would include al-amr, because when I command, I want you to do. When there's nahi, I want you not to do, right? But I want you, I ask. There's some sort of requirement. لا. الاستفهام is what? غير الطلبي.
السؤال is question.
It is a questioning,
It's not.
but there's no
It's not.
requiring.
Yeah.
Okay?
No action.
Yeah, there's no action behind it. Yes, I'm initiating the speech, meaning that it is an initiative speech, but it does not have the meaning of requiring. Okay? So because of this, الإنشاء غير الطلبي, it only استفهام. It means استفهام, meaning the questioning. Okay? So إلى تمن وعرض وقسم. So تمن, عرض, قسم, all are included in the first form of initiative speech.
So what's the two? You said time can be divided by two.
نعم إنشاء طلبي خبر وإنشاء. الجملة إما أن تكون خبرية وإما أن تكون إنشائية. Then الإنشاء either to be طلبي or to be غير طلبي. Okay? Now to discuss more, this is going to consume our time, but you should know, this is the nature. This is all of the pragmatics of the language. Okay? These are all pragmatics. Okay, brother? If you don't understand anything, please don't be silent. Okay? Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, he was once asked, by Qatada, by Ikrimah. He said to him, how did you collect all of this knowledge? I mean, he once, radiallahu anhu, interpreted Surah An-Nur. يقول Zufar, if the Romans of Ad-Daylam, the Christians of Ad-Daylam attended, I swear by Allah, they will be believers. Because of the beautiful way of interpretation. It's like a sea that is just flooding. So he said, how did you collect all of this? Where did you bring it? Do you think that is something that's just given? No. What did he say? بِلِسَانٍ سَؤُولٍ. You know, niggin tongue, just asking, question. I just question. بِلِسَانٍ سَؤُولٍ وَقَلْبٍ عَقُولٍ. And whatever I ask, I comprehend. I don't say, oh yeah, then not, then I go. I comprehend. If I don't comprehend, I ask. Well, that's why he said, وَبِقَلْبٍ عَقُولٍ. I understand. Not just to ask, just to raise my hand in a class so that I will have a grade. La, I ask to inquire, to know. Then when the answer is provided, I understand it. And I know it. Then he said, رضي الله عنه, وَبَدَنٍ غَيْرِ مَلُولٍ. And a body that is not tired. Day in, day out, all my life is for knowledge. That's why I have ilm. That's why Shafi rahimahullah said, أعطي العلم كلك. You're going to have some. أعطي العلم كلك يعطيك بعضه. Give the ilm, all of you, you'll have some. If you give it some of your time, you won't have anything. Nah. If you don't have, so that's why. Don't think that if you see alim, he just was born alim. No, those struggle. Okay, and look, at the beginning you will be tired. You have to have jihad in nafs, because it is jihad. Okay, seeking knowledge is jihad. You need to struggle. A week, 2 weeks, a month, sometimes a year, 2 years, till you are on the path. Actually, you can't even imagine your life without this. You can't imagine a day without reading a book, without a discussion, without debating, without memorization. You can't imagine life without this. If you are, passing the bridge of Gharbala, okay, because not everybody is capable of this. So people have a mental capability, but they don't have a body capability. What do we mean by this? That they don't have al-irada. They are not studious. Okay, they don't give, but they are smart, they're intelligent, genius. But they don't give of their activity. And you have those who have whom they have the yes, but they are not smart. And usually the second achieve more. Usually, those, the majority of the ulama, of thinkers, of innovators, they are, average people. But they work hard, okay? They work hard so that they achieve. But not all, the majority of those are, genius. Actually, you're going to find a lot of people who are smarter, more intelligent, more genius, but they are lazy, okay? They don't give, and you won't, if you don't give, you won't take. And this is what Abdullah bin Abbas radiallahu anhu said. So if you don't understand anything, just write it down, then ask. Okay. نعم. He said, وَبَدَنٍ غَيْرِ مَلُولٍ. غَيْرِ مَلُولٍ. I am not bored. Subhanallah, Yes, I know that sometimes the environment is not encouraging, okay? But this is added more effort that you need. يعني في الجامعة والله I remember يا إخوة that the students ما شاء الله, that we used to trace a Sheikh Muhammad, walk behind him even without our shoes, because he does not stop. Okay, he will go after the class, after Salat al-Isha or after Salat al-Asr. Then he would walk to his home. Then you're going to walk with him. Then maybe you're going to have the opportunity to ask. You're going to walk about 2 kilometers. And the students are surrounding him. And if you don't have the opportunity, and he will say, Assalamu alaikum, and he will enter his home. Your turn without a questioning. Okay? And you're going to walk even without your shoes. Because he is fast. You know, I have to go behind him. Okay? And you ask. And this is the way that you go and ask. Don't be shy. يقول القتادة رحمه الله, two obstacles hindering you from seeking knowledge. Al-kibr and haya. Arrogance, shyness. To be arrogant. No, I won't ask. يا أخي, كبار علماء, I attended with them, they ask their students, what do you think? I don't know. Did you please do some research and bring it to us? And he has asked several times. He said, I don't know. That's why they are ulama. Constantly seeking knowledge till they die. Till they die. The methodology of as-Salaf, rahimahullah, they used to study and teach. That's why they are fruitful, because this is the way of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He used to study from Jibreel, teach. Study, teach. So it's fruitful. Always fruitful. So then, once you study and teach, your knowledge will be always increasing, because you're given the zakah of al-ilm constantly. If you reach the threshold, talk. Okay? But you have always to have ilm. Imam Ahmad rahimahullah was once sitting. And this was about the end of his life, rahimahullah. So then, Abu Hatim al-Khurasani came to Baghdad. He was in Baghdad. And he heard about this while he was in al-Halaqah. And he was putting his shoes on his left. He took his sandals and went running. The audience said, where are you going? Oh Imam. Where are you going, oh Imam? أين تذهب يا Imam? He said, seeking knowledge. Because I haven't heard it from Abu Hatim. I will go to hear from him. And he's more knowledgeable than Abu Hatim. He's more knowledgeable than Abu Hatim. Shafi rahimahullah used to study from Ahmad. Ahmad used to study from Shafi. Okay? And Shafi rahimahullah, he said, Rahimallahu Ahmada. May Allah have mercy on Ahmad. He took it from us more than we took it from him. Okay? So they were always seeking knowledge. Seek in any field, especially in the specialty that you have decided to be a student of Islamic knowledge. So you have to devote your time, memorization, summarizing, debating, discussing, until you master it. Abdullah ibn Mubarak rahimahullah, like what al-Dhahabi rahimahullah said. And this is, in order to encourage you, that's why we say you go and read Siyar A'lam al-Nubala. Okay? You read the Siyar, the biography of those ulama, Jahabida. Abdullah ibn Mubarak rahimahullah, he was always seeking knowledge. That's why we don't have his madhab, because he didn't sit to teach. Just go and seeking knowledge. So he was asked, when are you going to end? Okay, he said, maybe I haven't found the ma'luma, the knowledge that because of it I will be rescued on the day of judgment. Meaning that he won't stop, because everything that he will take, maybe, right? So Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, when he was asked, where are you going? Do you know that he memorizes 1,000,000 hadith? Do you know that? It is not necessary to be all authentic, but he knows all of these, including aqwal al-salaf, okay, madhahib al-tabi'een. He knows all of these. That's why he has sometimes in one issue more than 13 narrations. Abu Ya'la al-Hamdi rahimahullah wa Abu al-Wafa bin Aqil, they calculated in some masail he had more than 13. Why? No, he adds. Then the more that evidence he has, the more he changes. Okay, because the evidence is common. That's why al-hadith al-da'if for him is more preferable than qiyas. Al-hadith al-da'if, if it is acceptable, it's more preferable to him than al-qiyas. So he was asked, one of the others said, what? Why are you going to seek? You know what he has. He does not have anything more than what you have. He said, من المحبرة إلى المقبرة. How would you translate it, please, brother?
From cradle to grave.
نعم. لا من المحبرة. المحبرة هي the okay.
What book?
Yeah, you know it?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
thing we use, even some East African,
Yeah, from this to the grave. This is what he say. It's like what we just say. العلم يا إخوة مشروع عمر. It's a project of life.
So what did you imply by that?
Meaning that I won't stop till I die. And المحبرة meaning that this is my life. It's a project of life. العلم is a project of life. If أعطي العلم كلك يعطيك بعضه. Because it's a sea without a shore. And you have to continue swimming till you die, till you don't. Okay? Because you won't go to the shore. Ever. Ever. You won't. And the more you increase it, that's why the more العلم أحمد بن حنبل رحمه الله says that العلم 3 درجات, 3 degrees. A beginner when he stands, when he go the first step, he will think that he is the most knowledgeable person ever walked on earth. Okay, when he memorizes one matan, or he goes or she goes over al-Bukhari or Muslim, he will think that I am the man. Okay? Imam Ahmad rahimahullah said, no problem. Things will fix themselves. Okay? Don't be worried about that person. And subhanAllah, I say this. He's Sadiq rahimahullah. If I witness some of the brothers, going through, time is sufficient to fix everything. Because Imam Ahmad rahimahullah said, then he will go the second step, the second degree. قال فإذا صعد الدرجة الثانية تواضع رغم أنفه. He will be humble رغم أنفه, because he will realize, calm down. I don't have anything. I have just started. Okay? When he increases in knowledge, you will know that you don't know. The more you increase in knowledge, by the way, in the path of knowledge, you will realize the much that you don't know. This is one of the major differences between a jahil, a muta'alim, and alim. The muta'alim, he knows that وَفَوْقَ كُلِّ ذِي عِلْمٍ عَلِيمٌ وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. He will realize this. So he will be humbled. Then the third stage, he said, then he will realize that al-ilm is بحر لا ساحل له. A sea without a shore. Coastless. Okay, without a coast. There's no coast. He will know that. So he will continue swimming. Okay? So, but this is what I'm saying, that you have to ask. In order to be productive and effective in seeking knowledge, you have to ask. Don't be shy. So the first one is arrogance. Okay, like what Qatada rahimahullah said, Qatada ibn Da'am al-Sadusi, the one is shyness. Okay? To be shy. I am shy. Why don't I am shy. I can't ask in front of the students. They will laugh at me. Okay? So these are all hindrances, and the majority of them are from a shaitan, not real, in order to hinder you from knowing, from seeking knowledge. I think we're going to stop here, right? Yeah. Then we're going to talk about al-haqiqa wal-majaz, inshallah. Figurative and real. Okay? Sometimes it is translated more badly, metaphorical speech. This is wrong. Okay, figurative. Majaz. Inshallah. Okay, any question? لا من خراسان. أي نعم. أبو حاتم. Because we have 3 major Abu Hatim. Okay? And this is في علم الحديث, في علم المصطلح. Yes. I'm sorry, what is Yeah, in terms of what? In terms of its usability? in terms of its usability? Yeah, in terms of its usability, speech can be used, can be divided into two types. One is the khabari speech. What do you mean by it? A speech that can be described by affirming or negating. Okay? Or to be insha'i speech, or initiative speech.
Yeah, it's under everything else.
Yeah, meaning that its content won't be known till it's uttered.
That's initiating speech.
Yes, initiative, okay?
When you
More or less, okay? Translated more or less, okay? Then this type can be also divided into two. You have a talabi, the requiring initiative speech, which would include all of what he counted. Al-amr, al-nahi, al-tamanni, al-'ard, and qasam. And istikhbar, istifham. So, and the last one will be qasam, which is al-insha غير الطلبي, because you just swear. With regard to al-istifham, it is both. You can put it here and you can put it here. And what we opine is that it is غير طلبي. غير طلبي.
And the rhetorical question.
No, even if, yes, you are asking an answer, but you are not requiring it. Okay? So, al-balaghiyun, they differ. Some say that it is talabi, some say that it is غير طلبي, and what we find is that it's غير طلبي. But we don't want to elaborate on this. You know, it is, you don't need this, and it will, you know, yeah, confuse or bore you. Yeah, you don't.
So
Okay.
Is qasam is broken into two.
Qasam is by consensus. It's غير طلبي. Because you just swear, okay? You don't require anything, you don't ask anything. Although that you can al-qasam, you can utilize al-qasam to emphasize the thing. Like if I say, نشدتك بالله إلا فعلت كذا. Okay? إلا فعلت. So there's a requirement, but al-qasam isn't of itself, billah is not a requirement. But it's an emphatic, it's a method to emphasize the requirement. But it's not a requirement, isn't of itself. See? Yes, brother. Did you? That's all? طيب. الحمد لله سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك وإياك.